If you've ever been fed a lie by the mainstream media, then go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button, guys. Welcome back to the Trench Grenade channel. I am your host, the average 6 months post-election State of the World special report video enjoyer that your mom says that we have at home. Thanks for watching. Guys, the purpose of today's video is we are going to be having a brief discussion on facts. Now, I have to be very measured in my words and during this special report, but I think you guys already know where I'm going with this story. Hit the like button, leave a combat llama down below. This video does not represent the Department of Defense or the United States Army or any organization or entity in the world. It just represents myself, Trench Grenade, and the private YouTube channel, and some facts that I'm going to share with you. If one was to serve as, we'll just say, in public office as the President of the United States, we'll use that as an example. If you were to serve as the President of the United States, you would be subject to annual health screenings, and in some cases, more health screenings. But at a minimum, annually, you would have things like cognitive function tested, making sure everything was good in that realm, having blood work drawn, testing standard stuff like your blood pressure, reaction time. You would have a prostate exam conducted annually. If you were to have these tests done and there were to be any signs of cancer, that has to be announced to the United States citizen and to the population, because this could pose a potential threat to the United States as a whole. If, for example, their key leader was to have a cognitive decline, a major health issue that would result in potential fatality, thus resulting in a vice president having to step up to fulfill that role. Obviously, in other countries, this has been the direct result of a coup. So anytime that there is a transfer of power, it opens up a nation to a realm of discomfort and risk. We'll just call it that. So, for example, if you were a individual that had stated out loud publicly roughly 2 years ago from the time of filming this video in 2025 that you in fact had cancer, as well as many other residents of Delaware, and you were subject to routine prostate examinations and cognitive tests, and no report was given to the United States citizen, the average civilian watching this video, good Americans, good Minutemen, prepared Minutemen. If that type of test were to be conducted and kept a secret, that would be treasonous. Now again, this is just my observations, hypothetical, but if those things were to happen, if I, for example, was the President of the United States right now and I had, knock on wood, a terminal illness, and we kept it a secret, and I was to die tomorrow, that would open America up to great risk by its adversaries, by people that would wish to have an overthrow of government, a political coup, a military coup. It would be very dangerous. So, hypothetically, if a key leader was to have very severe prostate cancer discovered 6 months post-election, post them losing an election, and then all of a sudden it to be announced that there is a severe form of prostate cancer, stage 9, where the cancer has already metastasized to the bone, it would be very rare, very, very rare and odd and uncommon for this to develop this quickly, for cancer to spread that fast, to metastasize to the bone that quickly. It would be very, very rare. I encourage you to do your own research in this area, but if a case like this were to happen, it would, on the surface, look like somebody has been being deceptive. It would look like the American population and the American public was deceived, it would look very treasonous. So what I would encourage you guys to do at this point, because I have to be very measured with what I'm saying right now. Again, I don't represent anybody. I don't represent the Department of Defense. I don't represent the Department of the Army. I don't represent any organization or entity. I just represent myself. But what I would encourage you guys to do at this point would be to go do your own research. I want you guys to go do some Googling of things that have led to potential distrust in government, distrust in the mainstream media, distrust in, I would say, health officials. You can look at the track record of the false pandemic. You can look at the track record of COVID-19. You can look at the track record of things that have occurred over the past 5 years. What I would encourage you to do is go do your own research. And I would encourage you to be very, very diligent in those that you take advice from. I would be very diligent in those that you surround yourself with. I would make sure you take the necessary steps to ensure that you are prepared for any sort of natural disaster, for any sort of widespread blackouts, for any sort of mass chaos. I would encourage you to make sure your eyes are open and your ears are open. And if it walks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, then that, my friend, is a motherfucking cancerous duck. So, with all that being said, this is just a state of the world update. I want to bring this to your attention. I want you guys to understand the severity of the potential of things that I have brought to the table. I want you guys to have your own opinion developed, but this is just a list of facts. Key leaders such as presidents of the United States undergo annual health examinations. During these examinations, cognitive and neural tests are conducted to make sure they are not suffering any sort of impairment or cognitive decline. Their blood work is taken. They ensure proper circulation, proper heart health. They ensure no signs and symptoms of a stroke, no signs and symptoms of cancer. They conduct a prostate examination. And if one, for example, was to have severe prostate cancer to the point where it has already metastasized to the bone, that in the vast majority of cases would have been detected well outside of 6 months. Okay. All right, guys. I look forward to reading your comments down below. Make sure you do your own research. Like the video. Leave a globe or world emoji down below for the State of the World update video. I have not yet determined if this is urgent or a special report. It really is all in how you frame it. It could be nothing. If you don't care, if you're blind, it could be state of the world routine, non-existent. It could be state of the world special report, as in it's one person and one family's issue. We don't wish harm on anybody. We only wish harm on the enemy combatants of the United States of America and people that wish to do the American public harm. Criminals, terrorists, enemy combatants, that's who we wish harm on. But we do not wish harm on our own people. Or it could be a state of the world urgent, as in the average citizen should be made aware of the implications that lie within a allegation or the facts that I have outlined here today. Okay. Disclaimers out of the way. Don't represent the Department of Defense or the Army, just myself. Like the video, comment down below if you enjoy the State of the World update series. And until next time, this is going to be Trench Grenade. Your average, be very, very careful of the mainstream media enjoyer that your mom says that we have at home. Thanks for watching. Cheers.